part of the game. For instance, one of the first stories we get sets the tone for the game's narrative, and it's about a boy named Benji who struggled with his mental health. He was bullied, picked on, and his story unfolds in a way that's honestly dark. It was uncomfortably real. Things that have happened and sometimes still do. It's showing us how life is, not necessarily some fantasy of how life could be, good or bad, and I love that. It's also amazing how these stories are happening in conjunction with Hazel, the protagonist's story. In fact, as we search for a missing mother, we learn more about her and how what she does affects this folklore and mysticism around the town of Prospero where the game takes place, along with other members of Hazel's family, but that's a spoiler. We're not going to talk about it. The game's narrative is so insanely strong that it carries the
So, yeah, if that's what you would like to do, if you want to force her to come to the park on Sunday, you contact your attorney. You tell your attorney to call the judge. No, he said he wants me to text him. I'm not bringing 7 on Sunday, and I won't. I won't be doing that. I sent that email. I feel like that was very clear that 7 is sick and will not be there on Sunday. So if you need clarification on that, talk to your attorney. Okay, bitch, you got your pen and paper. We don't have faces yet. We're going to put faces to the names. But I need y'all to be fully tapped in to where I'm tapped in, okay? We got the baby, 7. My daughter, 7, is missing. What am I going to think of? What I accomplished, what I set out to do, what I actually did that wasn't even a part of the plan, and who do I look like to the, like, what do I look like to the next generation? And now that I'm a mom, I feel like I put a lot of energy into worrying about what I'm going to look like to my child. And, like, I don't know, like, what is she gonna think of me, you know? So the other day, I had this whole thought where I was like, my daughter doesn't know me. She doesn't know who I am. She doesn't know my name. She don't know nothing about me. Aww. All that little girl knows is what I'm showing her every single day. And in reality, it's like that. I can't watch this or I'm gonna start bawling my freaking eyes out. Oh, I'm gonna be puking. This was when we first moved into our apartment. You know about your parents, and everything was show you. And what they expose you to, what they don't expose you to, what they protect you from, what they don't protect you from, how they treat you, how they mistreat you. You know, like, and that ultimately makes up a lot of who you are and a lot of what you're gonna give to the world. And my Mimi in my 20s, when I was in my 20s, later 20s rather, you know, there's a big difference from early 20s and later 20s, where early 20s, I was worried about the party. Like, I know there's a future one day, so don't act too crazy. But I'm like, man, I'm outside. I was never, like, I'm never too crazy on the drugs. I do my limits, things like that. But I was outside. I promise you that. And I love her. And I talk about those days like my glory days now because I'm like, man, I love her. But then when I sit and I have quiet moments with myself, I'm like, no, these are my glorious days. I just brought life into the world. And I'm a creative. I was creative before the term creative was a thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Thotty Crocker, my friends call me. Baby. You know, I like making cakes. I like painting. I like sewing. I like just making things. And one of the things, like, I started documenting my life years ago and was like, one day I'm gonna be an influencer, but I don't have the energy to film myself all day, but